Hey, book lovers. I'm Annabelle.
And I'm Romy. We're the hosts of Paperback Pleasures Podcast.
We're best friends, obsessive readers, and your guides through the worlds of romance fiction.
From the spicy and sometimes kinky origins of erotica,
to the swoon-worthy classics we still can't stop talking about,
to modern romantasy sagas that have us texting in all caps at 1 a.m.
We're covering it all, destigmatizing the most lucrative genre in fiction, one book at a time.
With humor, heart, and a little bit of heat. So if you're a romance reader or you're just curious, come join us.
Wherever you find your podcasts.
Let's talk romance.
Hi guys, I'm Bri.
And I'm Alli. This is Offscript.
If you think about it, books are potential scripts for movies.
When this adaptation happens, typically it's disappointing because they went off script.
In this series, we will be talking about how off script they went.
Hello
and welcome
to Offscript.
We're a podcast
where typically we compare books to their movies.
But we have something special for you today.
Today we have Patrick Tillett with us. Hello, Patrick.
Mm-hmm. Hello. Would you like to introduce yourself and why are you on our podcast today?
Yeah, I'm Patrick Tillett. I'm an author and let's say screenwriter. And given those two details and nothing else, one would imagine that I found the idea of a podcast just comparing books to their movie counterparts incredibly tempting. So the second I found out about you guys, I reached out about a guest spot. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for being with us. This is exciting.
It is. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know if you've heard in the podcast from you listening, but I am a video editor. And so I feel that like I'm a screenplay writer, you know.
Yeah. It's not first on my business card. It's Patrick Tillett, payment specialist, author. Day job, author, and then off in the corner. It's like screenwriter.
Yeah.
If you're
oh, do you want me for this? I can help you with that.
And so why do you quote unquote call yourself a screenwriter? Like, why aren't you like, yeah, I'm a screenwriter? Have you only done like one or two things or what?
It's mostly that oh god, what is the term for this? Imposter syndrome. Everyone can relate, I imagine, but it's like I call myself an author with my whole chest because it's like, oh, I've got books and I've done this, that, and the third. You can find it. You cannot find any videos. That's not true. There's one video I've ever made that is available for like viewing pleasure, and it's it was just something I put together in high school for a school project. But I've been writing sketches and short films and feature films since then, a handful of them, but just haven't shot any of them. It's an ordeal putting together any sort of video project, and I sure you can relate.
Yeah, absolutely. I know 100% how that is. Like, as an editor, I despise the coming up with the story part, the shooting part, and all of it. But as someone who is trying to make it, I know that I have to do all of that either on my own or find the people who want to do that for me. And it's harder to find the people who want to do it. So I'm always trying to just get myself to like write things and shoot it. But man, I don't have the gumption for it. So that's why I do podcast editing.
It's even harder to do with like $0 budget because like not part of getting older is like you don't have as many friends, and the ones I do have are like, oh yeah, the two of them are like, oh yeah, I could do this, that, and the third. But it's like for anything else, I'd probably have to hire help, to say nothing of like the crew.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's one of the biggest thing that obstacles to overcome. Which is also a little bit of a fun challenge just in the storytelling aspect you brought up. It's just, can you write something that would be interesting when literally it could conceivably be acted, written, shot, and edited by one single person?
Right.
Yeah.
The answer is maybe, but I haven't gotten it yet.
Very fair.
Well, do you want to tell us about the books that you have written then?
Mhm.
Yes, the books I've written are all anthology. I took notes before the thing. I'm so
Smart.
Smart.
but the books I've written are all anthologies, so short story collections, most of which are collaborative for between me and several other people. That's Arc City Stories, Power Loss. The full title is Power Loss: What Happens When the Lights Go Out Forever. I didn't come up with it, but it's I mean, it's good.
Yeah, it's good, but a mouthful.
It's a mouthful. And Neo Cyberpunk 1 and 2, which have some of the favorite short stories I've ever written. And then just this year, I put out my first anthology that's just me, and it's called Turning 30. And it came out of the fact that I took a hiatus from writing and really all art for the last several years after my third child was born. She's 3 years old now, and it's like really hard not doing anything creative for a long time. So I wanted to take that career seriously again this year in 2025. I got to say, terrible decision on my part given the timing of things right now.
Just a little bit. I know.
But in doing so, I was working on like several new stuff and thinking about like I've been doing this for over 12 years, and I went and trolled through the stuff that I still had from that period because I've lost more than I have left. And I was like, I really like this. I really like this. So I assembled a collection, made some notes from like thinking back to the time when I was writing this, because you're a wholly different person 12 years later. And it's a collection of short stories and short screenplays. It's only about 100 pages. It's sort of my favorites.
That's awesome. Can I, super off the wall, not really related, but where are you located? Like, are you in the Pacific Northwest with us, or are you?
I'm not. I'm in Tennessee.
Okay.
I live around Nashville, and anybody, to give you an idea for it, I say I live around Nashville because that's the only thing people will recognize. But if anyone in Nashville heard me say that, they'd kick my ass if they knew where I'd live.
We're used to that up here because we do that in Seattle.
We're in Tacoma, but if you say that,
I love Tacoma. Did you know one of my favorite indie movies was filmed there? Have you ever seen The Gamers, Darkness Rising?
No.
I'll send you guys a link. It's free on YouTube. It's amazing if you like Dungeons and Dragons.
The only thing we know when people say movies is 10 Things I Hate About You, because that was our high school.
That was also I went to the high school. I was in Tacoma for a funeral a few years ago with my wife, and I was so jazzed to be there.
That's where we went. That was our high school.
That was our high school.
I went to see the high school, and I went to. I will send you guys the link. But I went to the local game store that they shot The Gamers in. It's called the Game Matrix. It is still open.
Oh, have you been there?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
That's
no, I
amazing.
didn't go. And what's funny is, so I only just recently got my boyfriend into Dungeons and Dragons. Like, we've been together for 2 years, for sure. And we started playing about a year ago. And now, like, in our everyday life, he'll be like, you need to make a roll. You need to make an intelligence roll. I'm like, okay. But once you said that this is a D&D style, I was like, oh, heck yeah, I'll get him to watch it with me.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. So like there's 3 of them. There's The Gamers, which they made when they were in college. I think in Seattle, I think maybe in Tacoma. Anyway, it's like 40 minutes long. It's 2006, but it looks, or maybe 2003, but it looks like it was filmed in like 1992 on a home video camera. It's amazing. And then Gamers Darkness Rising was their first feature film. And it's sort of a loose sequel. That was filmed in and around Tacoma at a couple of places. And
Very
if you live
cool.
there, you'll probably recognize them more than I would. Then the third one was gamers. Oh my God, this is just going to be a gamers podcast.
I know, right?
Gamers Hands of Fate, which is more about Magic the Gathering than,
Oh,
than
heck
Dungeons
yeah.
and Dragons.
Okay. Oh my god.
And they just wrapped the fourth Gamers movie
Really?
like
So
a
they're
month
still
ago. I'm a
making
backer.
Wow. Okay.
The second I found out they were making another one, I was like, oh, I gotta be in there. So like,
You're like, I will help you.
I got an update about a month or two ago that they wrapped filming, and they're looking at a long editing period. But I think I'm excited.
That's
That's
so
awesome.
cool.
Oh, that's exciting. And they're still local? They're still in Tacoma?
I think so.
Wow.
I think they either still live in or around Tacoma, maybe.
Mhm.
I believe they're shooting in the area.
That's
They
awesome.
also made a totally unrelated YouTube series that's really good called like Journey Quest. And it's sort of just like a Dungeons and Dragons comedy, but entirely in the realm of like a fantasy world that just happens to be inspired by D&D, whereas the movies are like people playing a game.
Wow.
That's
Okay. That sounds
hilarious.
cool.
All right.
Okay.
So let's get back to you, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's your favorite aspect about being an author or screenplay writer?
My favorite part of doing both is the versatility of it. I've always loved exploring like genre and in the past few years exploring different mediums of art. And it's really interesting being able or like having the toolkit of like an author writing in print where you really have like as much room to spread your legs as you want and you're not limited by hardly anything. And then you go to writing for screen and you have to keep that in mind. You have to be extremely brief with your words. You have to think ideally of like how this would actually physically happen. So like budget's a concern as well. And that in turn makes you almost like a bit of a MacGyver type when you're telling a story. And then you can bring that skill in turn back to writing in a book and use it to like really hone in on the themes or messages or scenes that you're writing in your books. So it like they really play with each other interestingly because they're so different.
Oh, interesting. So do you think it's easier to adapt a book to a movie or a screenplay to a book?
I think a screenplay to a book would be exponentially easier.
Yeah.
It's
I agree.
so I think it's a miracle that any books become movies.
Especially some of the ones that get adapted, like the ones that are a little bit more science fiction-y or with
especially those. It seems like every crazy science fiction movie is like a book first, and I think that's just like impressive, frankly.
Yeah.
That's like someone was able to con someone else into putting that much money behind it. I love it.
Okay. So my boyfriend got me into this book that is D&D style. You might have heard of it, Dungeon Crawler Carl, and it's a great book. But that's a TV, or it's going to be a TV series. It's already been like optioned, and they're working on it. And as you were just saying, like, then you can think about the budget and all this. I sat there and I was like, I'm still reading this series, and I know it's going to be a TV show, and I do not know how they're going to have the budget for that.
They got to have a cheap budget for the first one, and then people will like it, and then they can up their budget
for season one. Whenever they have an expensive effects shot, they can just like put a black screen or like have the main character standing there and be like, okay, so like imagine this.
Yeah.
Actually, that would be hilarious. Okay, so I actually had a question about when you took your hiatus, like you kind of touched on what brought you back, but how have you found now the time? Because you have said you have 3 kids. So like, how do you find the time for family, wife, writing, actual job?
A little bit of writing when I should be at work.
Heck yeah.
And if they see this, I just hope I don't do this. So like a little bit of that, but then I found that like I'm juggling two careers. There's the writing and then my actual day job. As I've found more and more responsibility in my day job, which I intended to do, for the record, it's fine.
It's not one of those. Damn it!
I find that I can't write at work anymore, and I have had to get creative with like how else I can do it. The first idea I had was just like sleeping less, which wasn't great. But
it's not good at all.
The only thing the healthiest thing you can do is just try and treat the writing like you do all of the other shit that you have to do in the day, or else the day doesn't end. So it's like you wake up, you make breakfast for the kids, you get everyone off to school or whatever, and then you start your day job, and lunchtime comes. I work from home. I'm lucky that way. Maybe I can spend 15 minutes like just thinking while I'm making myself lunch. And then after work, after dinner for the kids, bath times, in that hour you might have before bed, that's got to be your writing time, because that's otherwise it's not going to get done. So I guess the healthy thing to say is to just try and schedule it and be as disciplined as you can to follow the schedule.
Yeah.
That's good. That's what we have to do with Offscript.
I'm bad at it.
Yes, I'm awful at it. Luckily, my co-host is more organized, and she's able to be like, okay, we got to do Offscript today. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I'll find time and figure it out somehow.
I just know if I don't plan it, I will never plan it. And so then it just won't happen, because I know Allie's going to be like, sorry, I got to get the kids to this place, and then we have to go do this and do this.
Yeah. Like one of our books coming up, we're doing Stephen King's The Long Walk. And so we have to go to the theater to watch it. And she's like, okay, we got to do it this day. I was like, well, I have a kid's birthday party I have to go to. I have this I have to do after this. And like our schedules don't line up, but we know we have to figure it out. So we make it work.
Yeah.
And that's, as I said, right when we started, that's fucking commendable. The amount of work you guys do is insane.
What's funny is, like, to me, I'm a huge bookworm, and I have a degree in film. So watching movies all the time is like, I love it. Reading. If I didn't have this podcast, it's so bad because I am a bookworm. So you would think, oh, she's reading all the time. That's not how it works. If I don't have like, okay, you are reading this book for this purpose, I tend to not read because I'm doing everything else I'm trying to get in my day. So now I have a reason to be reading, and I get to read as much as I want.
I'm exactly the same way. I need to have a reason. It almost needs to be a benefit for someone else for me to do anything.
Yeah. People are like, so they'll be excited and they'll be like, you really need to read this book. And I'm like, is it turning into a movie? Because I need to do Offscript stuff, because then I'll read it.
What's hilarious is
so bad.
It's funny because Allie was not a reader before this podcast, but now I think because she does this podcast, people think she's a reader. So they do tend to recommend books for her.
If it helps, I mean, that maybe it doesn't help. That was my impression.
Oh, well, thank you.
Hey.
Yes. No, the fact that I think we've done, what was it, like 115 episodes total so far, like book relating ones. And I'm like, that means I've read 115 books. I'm so proud of myself.
During the hiatus, I decided that I wanted to like get back into the habit of reading again, and I did. I set a goal for myself. It was like one book a month, which felt like a lot to me. And the highest I got was in 2024. 23. I read like 30 books in 1 year, which was like a shitload for me. And I felt really good about that. And one thing about like starting to write again is it's been so long since I've read anything. I'm so far behind. I have friends' books like I haven't read that I picked up on day one, or that they sent me, and that feels really bad because they'll be like, "Did you get to the part I want you to read yet?" I'm like,
I'm so close to it. I promise.
Oh my gosh.
If you were to adapt a book into a screenplay, what would be your method for doing that? And how would you keep the story as intact as possible?
this is a long answer.
Yep,
'Cause this is
go for
actually
it.
one that I needed. This is when I was like, I'm going to need to take notes.
Yes, please.
That's
But-
perfectly fine. That's why I asked it.
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier how like ludicrous it is that any book can possibly be adapted into a screenplay.
Mhm.
I've tried doing I've written screenplays obviously, but like I've tried adapting books twice and only twice.
Really?
It was one for The Great Gatsby when it first hit the public domain. I wanted to make like a cyberpunk
Oh, nice.
version and had a terrible time of it. Gave up halfway
Oh.
through. I think because I love the source material too much. And
Yeah.
then a friend of mine, Animosity Cat, I think I pronounced that name wrong, but I've gone 4 or 5 years without ever saying her name out loud to her face, and I probably just ruined it. Anyway,
Hopefully she's not listening.
I'm gonna send her this. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
But she has a book series called Behind Blue Eyes that I also really like. And just as like an exercise, I tried adapting it into a feature and also gave up. And it's because it's extremely hard. You guys know, there's so much book,
Mhm.
even for shorter books,
Mhm.
that you have to like condense into 90 minutes, 2 hours. I'll just get into the process. The first thing you do is I reread the entire work first, maybe even twice if I can do it quickly. Like Great Gatsby, it's a short book. I could reread that twice
Easy.
in a week,
Mhm.
probably.
Mhm.
But like a larger novel, like Behind Blue Eyes, like Dune, whatever. Oh, God, definitely Dune. It took me like 6 months. Anyway, I love it. But anyway, you reread the book and then take notes in the book while you're reading about like what's contributing towards the main themes that you wanted to portray in your adaptation, specific scenes that you know you want to be in the book, in the movie. You would maybe note in the margins like shot compositions or
Mhm.
like what you would probably omit because you know you're going to have to omit a lot.
Mhm.
And then ultimately, eventually, you'll come to the realization that your screenplay is as long as the book is, and you're looking at like a 10-hour like thing that nobody would ever watch.
Hey, I
and
would watch it.
someone would. You would watch.
That's why we have like the TV shows now, because people are
Yeah.
like, I want all of it.
Yeah,
But
I
can
think that's
first-
it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm so impressed that you read and reread, because we just did, what did we do? Was it Children of Men?
Oh my God. Yeah.
And the director said I did not read it at all because I didn't
Oh.
want to be influenced by the novel. And we're like, but
I
Why are
don't
you
think that-
adapting it? If you don't wanna
Exactly.
be
That was one of my
influenced?
that was one of the other things I wanted to mention is that like the most important thing is you have to love the source material.
right, that's
Because
what I thought.
people will probably be able to tell if you're going in here and just like doing your job and you've left 40% on the
Mhm.
cutting room floor just so you can sell Coca-Cola ads.
Right.
Or like, Allie, you are not going to be shocked that I'm going to bring this up, but or you're like the people who decided to adapt the Divergent series, who took the source material and butchered it just because they knew it would make them money.
I never read the Divergent series, but I will say it is almost impressive. I just went through like 4 different adjectives. It's almost impressive how the Divergent series like single-handedly killed the cash cow that was the teenage young adult dystopia like entire setting. Like
Uh-huh.
none of those movies are made anymore.
It's because they freaking the last one, they literally like they did the whole entire book, but they were cutting it into 2 parts. So how are you cutting it into 2 parts?
Did
when you
the
do
whole book
story?
and then wait for part 2, and it's like,
Yeah.
what is part 2?
Yeah. And like for me, the book series literally just makes sense because she kills off the main character, and it was like that was the character's arc. It was perfect for her. That's where Triss needed to go.
And
But
then what? They
because
brought her back for the last movie.
they didn't
They didn't
For the
make
record,
it.
I never saw. They never made it. I
No,
never watched
they
after the
left-
first one.
They left it
Yeah.
on a cliffhanger.
they
and
left
then
it on
they
a
never
cliffhanger
made it.
because they were
amazing.
greenlit to do the second part, but then all the fans got pissed when the movie came out because we were like, I kept as I was watching it, I was like, okay, this is like a good halfway point. This is where the movie's going to stop. And then I kept going, and I was like, wait, we're getting to the part where Triss is supposed to die. Wait, she didn't die? Wait, okay. They just did the whole book, but we're getting a part 2?
But they changed the ending so they could do a part 2 that's fanfic and then didn't get made?
Yeah.
That is amazing. Fantastic decision by the movie studio.
Oh, it was brilliant. And I was like, you guys literally just did this to make more money. Like,
Oh my
that
God,
is
that's
the only
amazing.
reason. So, yeah, if you don't love the source material, you try to make money off of it.
Yes. Sorry, we interrupted.
No,
Yeah.
you're good. These are good interruptions. And like I said, I wrote that down that's the most important thing too. So I did want to mention that. But like you got your 10-hour thing that maybe you could turn into a TV show. But if you're making a movie and you need it down to like 2 hours, if you're lucky, then like you're gonna have to cut out so much. And that's where the phrase, kill your darlings comes from, is you're gonna have to cut out so much of what you love. And that's really, even for like the good, quote unquote good, subjective adaptations, that's like the most damning part of the entire project. And where I kind of lose the times that I tried adapting is like I kind of stopped because I was like, I didn't want to cut any of it. Because to me, picking, quote, the important parts meant that I was making a project that was going to go out to the world and say, this is the correct way to read The Great Gatsby. And I'm not that confident in myself.
Right. Oh my gosh.
So like that's a terrifying prospect.
More people should be not as confident. Like,
yes.
Maybe, but there's something to be said. Like at least, like I mentioned, it's just impressive that this stuff even happens. Even the crappy ones, even the Divergence, or I'm gonna drop a name, even the Seventh Son. They got made. Someone did the work, and maybe you hope they loved the source material, but like they did what I couldn't.
Right.
But yeah, that's the thing, is you love it, you take notes, and you try and preserve it as much as you can. If you're very lucky and you've got like a good relationship with the author, like maybe they're close to the project, then eventually you could bring them draft after draft and they'll like shake your hand and go, congratulations, you didn't butcher my work yet. And you might have something good. Like there's plenty of good movie adaptations. So I guess that's just the best you could hope for.
I agree. All right. We are now on our wrap-up questions. So these are kind of difficult. Like the first time we asked these to an interview, he then flipped it on us, and I was like, "Oh shit, I can't answer any of these."
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not allowed to do that because I was going to.
You can, because I'm like,
you can, you absolutely can. Now we have answers. Now we know a little bit more.
Fantastic.
Go ahead, practice.
Yeah. So, what is your favorite book to film adaptation?
These were also very hard for me, by the way, because I'm the kind of person that if you ask me my favorite anything, I've forgotten every movie, book, anything I've ever seen.
That you ever seen or read.
That's why we email for prep.
If TV adaptations count, then Altered Carbon is probably one of my favorites.
Really?
I love that series. It's on Netflix if you haven't seen it. It's amazing. Season 1 is a flawless work of art. There's a movie you don't need to watch. And then there's like season 2, which is also very good, but different.
Okay. What's funny is it's on our list because my boyfriend loved season 1 and wanted to watch season 2 with me. And I've just been like, it's an Offscript book.
Can't do it.
It is. I really enjoyed season 2. And they switched I don't know if it got canceled like prematurely or if they only wanted to do 2 seasons, but they were doing a thing where a different actor would play Takeshi Kovacs every season, like a Doctor Who thing.
Yeah.
And season 2 has Anthony Mackie, and he just killed it, dude. It's like one of my favorite roles of his. Sorry. Outside of the realm of TV, I don't know if it's my favorite, but I adore the Keanu Reeves Constantine movie that came out in like 2007 or something.
That actually is, but I think it's a comic
book movie, and that's why I was going to say it's a terrible adaptation, but it is such a fun movie. and I love it. I could watch it all the time.
This one's probably easy because I feel like we all know our least favorite. But what's your least favorite book to film adaptation?
I did mention Seventh Son, which was an adaptation of The Last Apprentice. I use adaptation lightly. I love those books. The Spook series by Joseph Delaney are amazing. But my least favorite is got to be a tie between Percy Jackson and the Olympians 2010
Yeah.
or Aragon from 2006.
Yeah, that's a hot one on our anytime we talk to people.
Yeah. Percy Jackson is the bane of my existence.
Have you seen the series? Do you like the series?
I haven't seen the series. I'm scared to.
Don't. Everyone said that it was a redemption for the Percy Jackson. Like, this was great. So I was so excited to watch it. So it's really cute when I watch like adapted things now. My boyfriend, if he is watching it with me, he'll like, you should be taking notes or something. And I was just turning it on just to turn it on to be like, okay, good. Like, I'm not doing Offscript right now. I get to finally see Percy Jackson, how it was meant to be made. 2 seconds into it, I sat there and I was like, what the fuck?
2 seconds? That bad?
Mm-hmm. And then it kept going. And I was like, okay, like, I'll give it grace. Everyone's loving on it. I will give it grace. Then another like 2 or 3 minutes go by and I was like, what in the actual fuck are they doing? To the point where my boyfriend grabbed a journal and put it down in front of me and was like, maybe you should be taking notes for Offscript.
You know what? I love that he's so supportive.
Yeah, there you go.
It's really sweet, but I was like, I wasn't supposed to be doing notes right now.
That's amazing.
Well, they picked up for season 2. It's dropping in December.
Yeah, I think they greenlight like several seasons like before the first one even came out.
Yeah, they did. I'm pretty sure they signed on for quite a few seasons. But I think I stopped watching after the 3rd or 4th episode.
Oh, you didn't even finish it?
No, I haven't finished it because I can't even remember what they did wrong now. And I'm kind of glad. But it was like big things where I was like, how is everyone okay with this change? Like,
I wonder how much of it is like Percy Jackson, the books came out forever and a half ago and like they're not fresh in everyone's mind. And also how much of it might be that we just remember collectively how bad the Logan Lerman movies were.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and no hate to Logan Lerman. I love that actor, but like those were some dog shit movies.
They were horrible. They're the worst.
I saw
the
movies before I read the book. So I think that's why. So I went in with, at that time, he was my boyfriend. It was my husband and his 2 friends. And we went and saw it. And I'm like, wow, like, that's so fun. They're in Vegas. They're, doing all this.
The Vegas sequence was like the lifeline of the movie. It was like in a bad movie. That was a really fun portion.
It was fun. And then they had the part in wasn't it in Nashville with the Olympian part? I was like, when I went to Nashville, I went there and I was like, I'm here. Where's
the music?
Yeah, that's right. That's the Parthenon in Nashville. I forgot that was in that movie because I try and scrub it from my memory. I've been to the Parthenon twice. Once when I was single, and then once when my wife moved down here and she was just my girlfriend. I was like, hey, date night, we're going to go to the Parthenon because it's dorky and fun, like, you know, like me and like us. And then we got there and she saw the statue and she goes, I need to leave this room right now. I didn't know she had a thing with like, what is the word? Gigantophobia, something like that.
Wow.
No.
Didn't know that like the size of the statue would like set her off. So I was like, okay.
Learn something new.
Damn it.
Meetings about. But that's what we left the theater, and I was like, that was really good. And there's my husband and like his friends going like, that was the worst movie ever. I can't believe they did that. And I was like, oh, I thought it was fun. So then when we read, then I eventually read it, and I was like, oh, I see why they didn't like it. But I mean, it was still a fun movie. So I think because I flipped it, now I like both of them separately.
I love that for you.
Oh, thank you.
I wish I could.
All right, this one typically stumps some people. Is there a book that you would like to see adapted?
I have 2 answers, and it did take me a minute. I'll start with the mainstream one first. I would really like to see I say mainstream as fantasy can be.
Yeah.
Mistborn by Brandon
Oh,
Sanderson
yeah.
would be it would be such a kick-ass movie. And to be fair, I really truly think this is going to sound bad. I'm going to rephrase it. I think I think it would work really well as a movie because so much of the extra stuff that wouldn't necessarily make
Oh,
for a good movie. So like there's like it's a long book. If you know Brandon
Check it out.
Sanderson, it's like a long book.
Yeah.
It's not that long. It's like anyway.
Okay.
There's like 2 or 3 or 4 ball dancing scenes. Because that's like part of it is like the main character. God, I am just tangent city over here. The main character is like disguised as this noble woman. So she has to like gather information on the other nobles so she can feed it back to her compatriots. And she does so by pretending to be a young noble attending like balls. And so there's like 3 or 4 of those. There's like 1 for each act. So like that works from a structure point.
Okay.
And then like I mentioned, you get switching from book brain to film brain, you would think to yourself, well, we're not going to have time for 4 distinct ballroom scenes. I could probably condense those or cut maybe the middle one entirely. That's a conversation I have with Brandon. But like the everything else, like all the fighting, the learning, the identity character that Vin is just like it would make for the sickest fucking fantasy action movie ever made. It would be awesome. And the ending would break hearts.
Oh, okay.
You know what's hilarious? This book has been recommended to me by like so many people just in the last few months.
Yeah,
like that's why you said it. I was like, oh. Sanderson just released like 2 new books, I think, in the last 12 months. So like that's why he's been talked about a lot more. And that's actually why it was recommended to me. I had never read Brandon Sanderson before because I found it. All I knew about him is that he had like 25 books or something, and they were all connected. And I was like, that's a huge commitment. And it was explained to me what the concept of the Cosmere was, is they're not all like sequels to each other. There's like 2 or 3 series that are largely unrelated, but they take place in like a shared, and I'm using this word literally, universe. Like some are on different planets, some are on the same planet, but the most you'll see is like maybe a background character is described, and you'll go, "Oh, that's Kelser."
I know, like the Easter eggs. Okay,
yeah, and so that made it a lot more swallowable for me. And I was recommended to start with Mistborn. And I would highly recommend it to all of you. It's an amazing book. Okay. And I'd love to see it in a movie. My favorite indie book that I would like to see adapted, well, I don't know about favorite, but a book I would love to see adapted is an extremely deep cut. The Climb by Michael Swaim, who I mentioned the Small Beans podcast. Yeah. Not related to me at all. I'm just a fan. But he's like one of the main owners and like podcast hosts of all their podcasts, and he released a book called The Climb towards the end of 2024, I think. And it's bizarre. It's so good. It's half autobiography, half like cosmic horror, epic fantasy.
That's awesome.
Wow.
And it like plays with format and like language, and then I drew some inspiration with my collection turning 30, where it's not just print, it's also screenplay. At parts of it, the prose breaks down, and it does just develop into screenplay format in the real world about him. And then it like, loops back and somehow segues back into the story you were reading with the character you were reading. And I would just love to see somebody attempt that on film. Yeah. It would be a mind melter.
Yeah. Oh, that would be awesome.
Okay, that would be cool. And so
I think right after that movie I wish was a book.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I only bring up. I only introduced that question because that was the hardest one for me to answer. Okay, I've never actually thought about that before.
I know, right? I really only started thinking about that after we started Offscript. That's when I was like, ooh, what would I want to see? Or what would I want to read, I guess.
Yeah, exactly, right? And that's like what was hard is I kept going like, oh, I'd really like to see this. And then I'm like, well, no, that's not what I'm asking. But movie I wish was a book. At first, I had kind of settled on like one of the Mad Max movies.
Okay.
And they make, I think, graphic novels, but like
Mhm.
Fury Road, for example, is like a masterpiece of a movie. But then I closed my document and I was like, all right, time to wait for the podcast. And then I just kept thinking about it and I was like, that would be a terrible book. It's all visuals.
Yeah, that's true.
So then my actual answer is In Bruges, which is a film starring
Oh.
Colin
Yeah.
Farrell. I almost said Firth.
Mhm.
Colin Farrell and Dominic Gleeson, one of the Gleesons.
Yeah, that's a good movie. I like
It's an
that movie. That's a good
amazing
option.
movie. I love it, and
Oh, that would be
it
so
would be a
good.
great book because it's a very doomed by the narrative story.
Mhm.
Mm.
You know what I'm
And
talking about. And it's also just so fast. It like the characters are so clever and witty, and like it's very dialogue heavy. And then the
Mhm.
setting is very interesting as well. If you were to put this fantasy city of Bruges in a book, but it's like as the character, as Colin Farrell finds out, it's like it's a terribly boring city for him,
Mhm.
but he finds things to enjoy in it, and that could very interestingly be displayed in text, just as like you're describing the setting and it's like this building sucks, everything's great, it's foggy, it's cold, but then
Yeah.
like maybe more color creeps into the descriptions and just the perspective character could become more enthusiastic as the book goes on. And so like that's how that movie would be a really cool book to like
That's
play.
Yeah.
cool.
That's actually a
Clerks
very
would
great
also
answer.
be good.
Yeah. It
Yes.
would be.
I found those two. That's where I landed.
That's awesome. Well, very cool. And do you have a favorite book?
I've got a few, but I think the number one, my first like favorite book was like The Great Gatsby,
Mhm.
which we read in high school. And I had books that I liked, like Percy Jackson, obviously.
Yeah.
But Great Gatsby was the first book I was ever assigned to read
Mhm.
that I was like, this is fucking a work of art. It's, in my opinion, the perfect novel. It is
Wow.
so short, and
Mhm.
yet it's so evocative with its imageries that in only like 110 pages, you can imagine like East Egg,
Mhm.
West Egg, New York, and the runoff from New York into the wasteland. It's so good. It's perfect, and I read it often. The copy I have, I actually stole from my high school.
That's awesome.
I just never
Memories.
gave it back at the end of class. I was like, this is mine now. They can send me an invoice. I'll send them $10.
Exactly. Yeah,
That's
that's
amazing.
Bree's favorite too.
It is. Yeah.
Is
I
it?
love The Great Gatsby.
I
Yeah.
love it.
It's one of
What do
my
you think of
favorites.
have you done a Great Gatsby episode yet? I
Yeah,
don't.
we have.
Yes.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
didn't
We've
listen
actually
to that
done
one.
2.
If you couldn't tell, so what did you think of the
Okay.
movies?
So we covered the one that we did for the full episode. We did the Leo version, and then we did Paul Rudd's version for a minisode.
I forgot
Oh my
we did
god, that was Paul Rudd. I know the movie because I watched it in high school.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like I completely forgot that was Paul Rudd.
Oh my gosh. I know you're over here saying we did too. I'm like, what? We did too? And I'm like, oh yeah.
No, we did because I wanted to watch the Paul Rudd version.
That's right. I forgot. Okay.
And so I'm probably one of the few, but I actually really enjoyed the Leo movie. Like,
I did too.
I
but
did too.
oh, good. I'm glad you did. I thought I was about to get a lot of shit for this, but like to me,
It was very, very unique. And like I talked about earlier, where it's like when I hate to keep dominating the conversation. I'm so sorry. This is so fun to talk about. And I'm such like a pretentious asshole when it comes to art that like my friends, I feel bad subjecting my friends to this. So it's great to have people who are doing this for work, who are forced to listen to me. But I actually really liked
no
Baz Luhrmann.
Movie?
It was Baz
yeah.
Luhrmann,
Oh,
I think,
I
who
love
did The Great
Baz.
Gatsby.
Yeah.
Moulin Rouge. But anyway, it's part of adaptation comes from like deciding either the way I look at it is the right way, or at the very least, this is a way you can look at it. And Baz Luhrmann went balls to the wall with that, with the music choices, the sets, the stylized visuals. And so like it's not a perfect like one-to-one adaptation by any means, but it's an incredible film.
I loved it. I think Leo was born to play Gatsby. He did such a great job as Gatsby. And I think the biggest problem that people have with that is the music choice, because they're like, oh, Boz was trying to make it modern. And I'm like, I don't think that's like, I think the music choice was for the audience to get pulled into the story. I don't think Boz is thinking like, yeah, they're listening to Jay-Z the whole entire time in this story.
That's supposed to be pulling you into the mindset, the rampant opulence that they had in the 20s. But you, a modern teenager or 20, 30 something year old, I'm not guessing your ages for the record. I'm just talking about the Americans that watched it in 2017 or no, 2012. 2012.
Yeah.
That's like, you're not going to get sucked in that same way just listening to flapper jazz.
Yeah.
Which is I love jazz and I love swing music, but you have to like bridge the gap. There's 100 years of difference between when this movie takes place and where you're alive, and you need to bridge that gap somehow. Music's an amazing way to do it.
Yeah. I loved it. Moulin Rouge is one of my favorite movies. And so like when I found out he was doing Gatsby, I was like, perfect. I'm okay with this. Let's go. Let's do.
One of my short stories, I was really far into it. Like one of the ones I wrote, I think it was Philadelphia, which I wrote for Power Loss. I was really far into a draft of that story that was like an action adventure type like romp. And then like I was watching Moulin Rouge late at night and I was like, no, it's a cursed love story. And I deleted everything and started over.
I love that.
Okay, our last question is, what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie, similar to book, I've got a bunch, but Alien 1979 Hell yeah, that's right.
We got like all the same things. I swear, all the time. I'm like, okay.
Tombstone in 1993. Those are always, they switch places, but that's 1 and 2 on every list. If like I will watch. I don't really watch movies on cable anymore, but you used to. No matter what part of either of those movies was on TV, if I saw it, I would stop what I was doing and watch the rest of the movie. I love them so fucking much. I think Alien is the perfect science fiction and horror movie. Probably the best one ever made.
Agreed.
And Tombstone is, in my opinion, the best Western ever made. And it's a celebration of the whole genre. It's like the culmination of like warts and all, everything about the setting of the Old West that like we were making movies about for 70 years.
Yeah.
And it ends with the closing of the West with Wyatt Earp leaving the West, he moved to LA, but leaving the Old West behind, letting it age out, which is like what all the Westerns are always about, is like the on-crawl, the creeping crawl of society. And Wyatt Earp made the decision to leave that behind and join society, and then help make Western movies as a consultant. So like, it was such a cool, I had never had a movie like end where I was just like, oh my God, it's a comment about the whole genre and it's a celebration. I've seen that movie more times than I can count. I love it to pieces.
Wow.
I could quote huge chunks of it.
That's awesome. It's always good when you find something that you just like love so much that you are willing to watch it over and over and over again.
Or that you're willing to just talk about for 5 minutes uninterrupted.
Yes, exactly.
Well, now is your chance to kind of pitch yourself. Where can our listeners find you? Can they follow you on Instagram? Do you have a website? Where can they get your short stories? All that good stuff.
Yeah, I do have a handful of social medias, and I do have a blog that I don't update terribly often, but I do update it. It's if you look up Patrick Tillett, Tillett. Wrap it up, Pat. But if you look up my name, you will see my Amazon listings, and that's where you can get all of my published books. Again, that's Arc City Stories, Power Loss, Neo Cyberpunk 1 and 2, and Turning 30, my latest release. I'm on Instagram as Fractured Gems Official, which is sort of a umbrella name that I try and publish all of my stuff under: books, movies, a few video games, but I'm not here to talk about that.
You should have talked about that.
I love role-playing games. So like I have a tabletop game that I adapt. I made. It's a fan game. It's for free. Actually, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. If you look up Death Stranding TTRPG, I will be the first or second thing that comes up. I adapted so Death Stranding, the Hideo Kojima game, into a tabletop RPG that you can play by yourself. And it's free to download on itch.io, but like fuck itch right now. So actually just reach out to me on, I don't have to get into that if you don't want to, but if you just reach out to me on Instagram or Threads or Blue Sky, then I will just send you a download link.
There you go.
It's Fractured Gems Official or Fractured Gems Entertainment, some variation of that on all of those. And you can also usually find me by name, Patrick Tillett.
Awesome. Well, this was so much fun. Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Yes.
No, thank you for having me.
Yes. Is there anything else you want to share before we sign off?
Nothing that I should.
Okay. Fair.
No, just that I'm working on a novel with a friend of mine as sort of a spin-off project that is coming along very well, slowly but well. I'm very happy with everything I've gotten so far. I'm working on another feature-length film, which is like a gothic western.
Cool.
Called Bite the Bullet. It's got werewolves.
Nice.
Well, yeah, right?
Yeah.
And this is a pipe dream, but I'm also working with a different friend on what we want to be an animated series that is still in like pilot phase. But those are the three big things I'm working on right now. I'd love to share more about them. So follow me on social media and I'll share what I can when I can.
Yes.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you guys.
Guys, that was so fun.
That was.
He was a blast to talk to.
It was so nice to chat with a author screenplay writer.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Who was essentially, it felt almost like we were just talking to the male version of me.
Yes. It did. When he's like, Great Gatsby is my favorite, and then Alien's my favorite. I'm like, Bri? Is that you?
Hold on. Did Bri just dress up as a man and get on the podcast?
Oh my gosh. Well, Patrick, we're so happy you could be on with us, and we are excited to support you and share all your stuff.
Yeah.
He's not on anymore, but I'm talking to him through the episode.
I know.
Telepathy.
Telepathy.
Oh my gosh. He's just like an idiot. He hasn't listened to that episode yet. I know it's telepathy. Don't be.
There's I think you need to listen to the Shining episode to understand that one. I can't remember which one it is.
Shining or is it Carrie?
Oh, it might be Carrie. Don't listen to that.
It's like, no, don't. Oh my gosh. Anyways, you guys, this was fun.
Yes, it was. So let's wrap us up now. We've got a website that you should go check out.
Offscript253.wixsite.com/offscript.
While you're there, everyone, we have set up where we can get donations now. So if you want to support us and help us do better,
you can do a one-time donation. You can do a monthly donation. You can donate $1 a month. Well, rules for us that we can buy stuff for like updating stuff for the nerd party. We can buy updated equipment so we sound better. Like everything you donate will be used to improve this podcast.
Whether it's we buy cool, awesome ass bookmarks, stickers, we could even potentially do some awesome giveaways, like not just at the nerd party.
Right. We use that money to buy books and buy movies to give
away
to fans.
So you might want to start donating.
Yeah.
But the majority of it would be used to make things better for us, for the podcast. So
Yeah.
think about that.
Yeah.
Monday, an episode's going to be coming out. I don't know which one because I don't know yet where I'm putting this in August. I just know it's coming out in August.
Yeah.
So we can't even tell you what's coming next or what to look forward
It's a
to. 'cause-
mystery. Woo. It's one of Bri's birthday picks, though.
And damn, that's a good month.
It was a fun one.
Yeah. It really was.
It was.
It was good. We had Fight Club and Mickey 17.
Beauty and the
Children
Beast.
of Men. Beauty and the Beast. Yeah. Good,
So
good
one
picks.
of those. One of those.
Actually, not Children of Men because that's the very first one out the gate.
It won't be that one, yes.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Yep. And we'll catch you later.
Yeah. With that, this interview
went off
script. Bye.
So, bye. You can't do it. You were off again.
We were? Damn
Yeah.
it. Okay. Well, then fine. With that, this interview
went off script. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for sticking with us.
We hope you enjoyed it.
If you did, we would greatly appreciate it if you gave us 5 beautiful stars, reviewed, and subscribed.
You can also follow us on Facebook at Offscript, on Instagram at Offscript Podcast 21, and on TikTok at Offscript_pod.
Shoutouts to Madame Shen Creations for our adorable logo art.
And Adam Daniel for our incredible theme song.
And to Creative Cinephile Productions for producing our podcast.
See you next time.